Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and today I have my Project 10 Uses and my No Pan Left Behind project. So we are very far in the year, so I'm interested to see how many products I've been able to get to and how many of my palettes I've been able to finish. If you're just tuning into this video series, welcome. I hope that you guys subscribe and stick around. But in this video, I do a Project 10 Uses where I randomly pull items from certain categories in my collection that I feel like I neglect because of project panning. So I pull in 10 things, I use them 10 times, either just to get use on them or to get my idea about them, whether or not they need to be decluttered, or maybe I focus on them in a project or in a different season. And then of course my No Pan Left Behind is a project where I use every single shadow in different palettes in my collection, because again, I feel like I hyper focus on certain things and then I forget to use certain palettes. And as my palette collection grows, I kind of feel like it's getting a little bit harder for me to keep up, but it's okay. I love my shadows and I love pulling different things into my projects to use. And it just, again, my whole focus, and I feel like I'm rusty and I feel like my brain is all over the place as Jane shakes in the hallway. But this is just ways for me to focus on my collection and to not neglect things and make sure that I'm touching everything in my collection. Are you going to click clack in here, buddy? You going to come in? Oh, here comes Mr. Wash. Here. Oh, goodness. Oh, my God. They're going to knock over everything. Oh. All right, dog interruption done. So I have all my products. We're going to do my Project 10 Uses first. I have all my products. I have my spreadsheets. Let me roll my little intro music and then we will get into it. In my last video, you guys said that you loved me in green, so I went green again today with this beautiful eye look and my forest green. I usually am in forest green, but I agree with you guys. Those jewel tones are just amazing. So I really want to lean into some more jewel tones and maybe pick up a few different tops over the winter time. But this is not about fashion because I have no idea what I'm doing with fashion. I have no idea what I'm doing with my hair either. I just threw it half up and half down today because it was doing its own little poofy thing. But like I said, update on ramble because you guys know how I am. But let's go ahead and get into this Project 10 Uses because I have 3 things that are rolling out. So that means that we are rolling in 3 new items for today's update. So last update, we had almost a complete refresh apart from this product, and it's still going to be in here for a while, but this is my Makeup Geek blush in Desire. And this has been in for, I think this is the 4th update now because this is very pigmented. I have this on my cheeks today, and of course my lights do wash out my makeup a little bit, but I did put this on with a duo fiber brush and a very light hand. Like I would dip into this and then like scrub it into the bristles, like using the actual palette, and then I would very lightly put it on my cheeks. But I do have Desire on my cheeks today. And last update, I had only 4 uses on this and I've used it only the 1 time, which is today. So I do now have 5 uses on Desire. I'm halfway there. I think after I get my 10 uses on this blush, I'm going to have to either repress it or do something with it because this is just so pigmented that it's not anything that I can use all the time. Jane is having a good old time out in the living room. I can hear him like flopping around, and like he does this thing where he lays on his back and he like does like the dead bug thing. But let me see what he is barking about and then I'll be right back with you guys. If the camera angle moved a little bit, it's because they have picked right now to start playing. And so Wash and Jane are fighting over the same toy, and Wash went underneath my equipment. So if anything moved, it is because of that little rascal. So if you hear doggy noises in the background, that is Wash and Jane being jealous of each other. But we have our 5 uses on Makeup Geek Desire. And like I said, I'm still going to push through and get 5 more uses on it just so I can like have the feather in my cap for this project. But it is hard for me to reach for, but hopefully as the weather starts to cool down today, which it wasn't today, I went out and did the like grocery shopping and like the Walmart run today, and I was sweating my behind off, even though I was just walking from the store to the car. So 5 more uses on that. Now I feel totally discombobulated, but it is okay. So my next thing that I have to update on, which I don't know if I usually do my updates, then my rollouts, then my roll-ins, but that's the way I'm doing it for today's video. But next we had Urban Decay Stash. And I had originally, if you guys caught my deck of panning, I had a different Urban Decay liner in Mildew rolled into that project, and I think I confused the two with either what I said on camera or with what my graphics showed, but I had my 5 use goal on Mildew in that project, which I did get, and Stash is actually in this project. So with Stash, I actually have it in my look today, which is this beautiful green look. So of course I can use Stash, but I do have 6 uses on this. So I have 4 more uses to go on Stash, and then this will be able to be rolled out. This is just this beautiful greeny gold, almost that army green, but a little bit of a gold flip to it. This is just a gorgeous shade, and I love the Urban Decay formula, so very happy to have these rolled into this project. Another liner that was rolled into deck of panning is my ColourPop in Wild Idea. I had a 5 use goal on this in that project, and I did as it breaks, and let me try to get that little piece before I grind it into my carpet. So I barely rolled this up, and this little piece right here broke off. So we'll have some weight changes on it now, but I had it in the deck of panning for 5 uses and then also rolled it into this one for 10. It's my little duochrome liner right there, which I could have put this on the lower lash line of this look today and that would have been pretty. But I did get my 5 uses in that project, but I have not had any uses for this project. So I still need 10 uses for Wild Idea. And then let's see, my next progress would be my fragrances. So I rolled in 2 fragrances. One of them is the Valentino Born in Roma Coral, which usually has this little silicone spiky sleeve on it, but I wanted to take the sleeve off to be able to show you guys the progress. So those are our line movements right there. Let me see there. Now, can I get it level? There we go, Erin. Stop looking at your monitor because everything is backwards. But with this one, I do have only 2 uses. So I keep this fragrance in my purse. And so typically I'm not reapplying fragrance during the day because sometimes I don't even leave the house because I work from home. But I've been trying to remember to kind of like, if I haven't put on my fragrance for the day, I'll grab it out of my purse, which sits back there. I'll grab it out of my purse and I'll spray it on me. But I do only have 2 uses on this one. So 8 more to go on the Born in Roma Coral. And during all this, hopefully my graphics have been popping up with my comparisons and my weight differences and all of that jazz. The next fragrance that I had in was my Burberry Her Elixir, and I do have my marks on the side of this one, so a little bit more use on this one. This one does sit in my closet, so it's a little bit easier for me to reach for this whenever I am getting dressed for the day. And so for my Burberry Her, I actually have 8 uses on this already, so only 2 more to go. So it'll not be hard. It won't be hard for me to reach for this 2 more times, and I'm satisfied with the jump on this one since this is a 1 ounce. Of course, the like marking going down is going to be a lot less than in a travel size. But 8 uses on my Burberry Her Elixir, and this is a great fragrance for the winter and fall time, so I will easily be able to get my 2 more uses on that. My next progress item would be my Becca highlighter in Moonstone. I almost said Champagne Pop, but no, this one is Moonstone. Now this did, let me clean off the mirror a little bit because that's kind of gross. This already did have a pan on it, and so I am just working on expanding that pan by using it with the 10 uses. So on my Becca Moonstone, I think that's on my other page here, I have 5 uses on this. So I am halfway there, but still 5 more uses needed. I am enjoying having this rolled in and kind of using this from time to time, but as much as like we hyped up the Becca highlighters back in the day, this is not as glowy and impactful as my Tarte highlighters and my like mix of highlighters that I ended up making. This actually feels a little bit subtle compared to those. So I've been reaching for this because I know that I need it, but this is not something where I'm not blown away by this formula anymore. Now I do like the Becca Opal better than Moonstone. I kind of feel like Moonstone is a little bit too icy for what I like on my complexion, even though I'm sure that it is good for my complexion as far as color, but I like Opal a little bit better. I like a little bit more of a goldy kind of pink highlight and like almost blush topper versus something more icy that's sitting on my cheeks. But 5 uses on this, 5 more to go. I think I did put this on my 25 and 2025. I'm starting to create that list and I'm considering putting this on there. So we will have to see what I pick to put on that list, and when that video comes out. I think I do those in November, my plan to pan for next year. So I'm curious if that will make the cut. But my next progress item is actually one of my Franken blushes, and this is in a Makeup Geek compact, but this is my Franken blush in Serenity. And it's just this beautiful mosaic of colors in there. So very pretty. Hopefully you can see by just looking at the close-ups that this does have some wear on it. So my blush in Serenity, I've used this 4 times, so 6 more uses, but I am not upset about it. I actually have really enjoyed reaching for this, and I've enjoyed using this. The color is, I know a lot of times people don't like mosaic things because you don't get the same color all the time, but with this, I feel like if I'm blending into this and then blending on my cheek, I'm going to get a similar color on both sides of my face. There's not that much of a stark difference once you actually like get the powders all together. So that doesn't bother me at all, but I really do love this blush. I love that I was able to create this blush, and I love that I'm finally reaching for it. So I do need 6 more uses on this one. So that leaves me with my rollouts, I believe. Yes, I've covered everything else. And now we have the 3 rollouts. So the one that isn't surprising to me at all is my brown eyeliner from Clinique. So this is the Clinique Quick Liner, and this is in Intense Chocolate. It's just a brown liner right there. And I use this one a lot to tight line. So this is a mechanical, and once you roll it up, you cannot roll it back down. So I really like this one for, I kind of give it a two clicks up, and it gives me enough that I can get up in my tight line. It's very smooth. It doesn't transfer down. It wears all day. So I love the Clinique Quick Lines, and I actually picked this up in like a gift set last like Christmas time, where I got 3 of the liners and I think one of their mascaras. And so I really do love using these eyeliners, especially for the tight line. And then kind of surprising to me, obviously that one's rolling out, so I got my 10 uses on it. Hopefully that was apparent. Actually, let me get a sip of water with my lipstick all over my straw. Let me get a sip of water, and then we'll roll into my other 2 that I was able to complete. Okay, so the other two that we have left are my nail polishes. So when I roll a nail polish into this project, I consider each hand or each foot one use. So if I do a manicure, that is 2 uses. So I was able to get all 10 uses on these 2 nail polishes. And the first one is from INLP, and this is in Misery. And you'll see when my graphic pops up, this one went down a lot. So this is where we're at. Let me see if it'll focus on that instead of my face. And so we're all the way down here. We were almost like up here before, and now we're down to here. So very, very happy about the difference. Like I said, you'll see better in the graphic when it pops up, but I can see the huge dip that is in this nail polish. And so very happy with this. I loved using this, and I did pair it quite a bit with my other nail polish, which is the Holo Taco Bring Me the Teal. And this one, I feel like it was all the way up at the top, and now we're down to here. So again, another big jump, and you'll see again I have my lines drawn in the comparisons and my graphics. So this one now I can actually see some windowing at the top of the polish. So I loved combining these two together for kind of that, what did I call it, that tarnished copper type of look. These two were beautiful together. So definitely a combo that I would love to like pair together more and more, but I am loving getting use on my nail polishes. So I think I kind of spoiled it in my last buys and buys that I picked up another order from INLP, and I'm actually wearing one of those polishes today. So this one is in Bear Hug, I believe, but I did put my new polishes in my wheel. So if we draw in some new polishes, that will be very exciting. But let me actually grab my pen so I can write down my new ones. We'll pull up my wheel, and we are drawing in 3 new products to use 10 times. Okay, I have my wheel up. Hopefully we will have some no repeats. We'll see how the wheel plays with me today. But like I said, we are drawing in 3 new things, which is this my like least amount of goals hit. But I think I told you guys that I took some time off for my birthday, and I did not wear makeup unless I was filming. So I had a lot less makeup days in September. But let's go ahead and roll in our 3 products. So this is pick number 1. Essence Believing. It's those dang Essence blushes that I feel like they always end up repeating. So let me look through my book real quick and see if I've done Believing already. Yes, I did Believing at the beginning of the year, so we'll roll again. Clinique, Cheek Pop, and Heather Pop. I did that one at the beginning of the year. So this must be where we're at, where I guess before I hit the no repeats at the beginning of the year. Highlighter shade 2. I've done most of the Tarte highlighters, but let me see if I've done shade 2 yet. Yes, we've done shade 2. Holo Taco and Violet Nightmares. So that is one that I haven't done, and that's actually a really great polish to roll in for October and spooky season, because it is a kind of dark purple with sparkle in it. So that is actually a really good pick for this time of year. All right, so pick number 1. Now let's try for pick number 2. Modest Moss we've done. Ruby Orchid we've done. Clinique and Intense Black. That's the quick line. That's just the black one that is the same as this brown one. So we have not done that, so we will do 10 uses on that one. All right, and then one more pick, hopefully not a repeat. Lawless Forget the Filler in Cherry. I can't do that one. It's in my project pan, but I can't do that one. Just leave it at that. Tarte Highlight in shade 3. Have I done shade 3? That might be the only one that I've not done yet. Yep, shade 3 is on the table. We've done shade 1, 2, and 4. So we're doing Tarte Highlight shade 3. All right, let me pull those 3 items out and show them to you guys, and then we will get into my No Pan Left Behind. So that was easy to pull out. And so our first one is the Holo Taco nail polish, and this is in Violet Nightmares, and we're about down to there on this polish. So a little bit down. I've used this a little bit, but it is this violet purple color with the hollow sparkle through it. So this is definitely a good polish for spooky season, so I'll be able to get some great use on this. Then we had just the Clinique Quick Liner in Intense Black, and this is a black right there. That is just a blackish. It's not the deepest black, but it does the job, so I'll be using this to tight line. And then our last one is the Tarte Highlighting Palette in shade 3. So shade 3 is this one right here. We already have a pan on everything in this palette. Let me see if shade 3 will swatch. See if it'll show up. Oh, yep, that shows up. Look at that beautiful shade. Little bit of a darkness in the shadows. Actually, no, that blends in perfectly to my skin tone. So this is just a beautiful shade that I really, really enjoy using. But shade number 3, we will get 10 uses on that one, and we'll see how much I can expand the pan. But let me get all of these put away so that I don't drop anything on the floor, and then we will go into my No Pan Left Behind. So I kind of feel like I have not done that well on my No Pan Left Behind. Again, if it was not wearing as much makeup, I did have some palettes rolled into my deck of panning that I was able to finish. So there's quite a few reasons that I feel like I haven't gotten the use, but I'm still doing really well on, again, keeping track of what I'm using, getting some larger palettes knocked out, and I still am very hopeful that I will be able to complete everything by the end of the year. But I kind of feel like I'm down to crunch time, even though we've been sticking to a decent percentage throughout the year. So again, this part of my project is I am trying to use every single shade in my palettes. And so let me actually do the one that I was only able to get one done, I believe. Yes, out of the palettes that we picked last time, only one of them is completed, and then the other ones I have updates on. So the one palette that I was able to complete is my Z palette of purple shades. And so this is what we're looking like. Actually, let me tuck that back behind there. This is what we're looking like. This is ColourPop and then some Terra Moon and some Give Me Glow. So those are these kind of special shades up over here. The rest of them are ColourPop shades. So this is my little beautiful purple palette that I made with my singles, and so this one I was able to use every single shade in here. I actually went back and used the 3 special shades again just because I love them to pieces, but I hope one day to fill this palette up with beautiful purple shades, because purple is my favorite apart from my green looks that I do, but I love the purple looks. So this is something where I would love to have a lot more special shades in there. But this one is done. Let me put it back so I don't knock it over onto the ground. Let me do this next one because I was so close, so close. And that is my Natasha Denona Glam palette. And this is just, okay, it's not squeaking right now. It's squeaking a little bit, but maybe I need to fix this one. But this is our more neutral, coolish tone, and I only have 2 shades left in this one to use. If I turn it this way, because I'm looking at my graphic, I need to use this one down here in this corner, and I need to use this one right here. So those are the only 2 that I have to use, but I did not meet my goal on this one yet. I do love this palette. I had a lot of fun creating these more neutral looks, and I was whenever I got back from vacation, I did go and do some visits out with my patients and my clients. And so I did some neutral looks out of this palette and they turned out beautifully. So love this, but still have 2 more shades. Now, if I'm feeling adventurous with only 2 shades to go, I might roll another palette in this place, because with one eye look, I will have this one completed. But 2 more shades to go on the Glam palette. And then my next one that has less shades, this one I have 5 more shades to go. And that is my ColourPop and Star Wars Mandalorian The Child palette. And this is our cute little green color story. I thought about doing a look with this one, but I didn't think I'd be able to use all 5 of these shades with the look. So I went with a different palette that I have not touched at all. So let's see here. If I hold it up this way, I have these 2 up here, I have the Force, and then these 2 down here. So 3 shimmers and 2 mattes. I'll be able to do 2 looks out of this one and get this one complete. But again, I just was not wearing makeup as much in September. So this one continues on with 5 more shades that need to be used. Let me look at my singles real quick. And I actually have an update on one of my singles. So I did have Birthday Girl, which is one that I have repressed myself. I mixed a little bit of oil in there to kind of refresh it and make it creamy again. And then the other one is Colors of the Wind, which is the Pocahontas Princess one. So Colors of the Wind is getting dry. It's not picking up. Like, it picks up decent on your finger. It looks like there's some good pickup on the finger, but then it doesn't come across on like the swatch. Like, that to me is not that impressive. I feel like there should be more oomph behind this one. So I feel like this one is drying out. And then Birthday Girl, like I said, I repressed this and I refreshed this one. It feels a little bit... It's still creamy and it has a really good pickup on it, but it is getting a little bit chunky, but I feel like it does have a little bit more impact on the swatch. So that one I don't mind, but it is getting a little bit crumbly, so I have to be careful to clean up afterwards. But whenever I roll in my singles, I do put a 5-use goal on them just to get some decent use on them, and I have 2 uses on each of these. So I still have 3 more uses on both of my singles to go. So that is the update on those. And let me wipe this on my pants so it doesn't end up on my face somewhere. The next palette, and this is actually the palette that I have on my eyes today. I had not used it since the last update, and I was like, Erin, you have to use that palette. So I used it to create this look, and this is the Odin's Eye and Angelica Trick or Treat palette. So the shade that's on my lids is Crypt Keeper, which is this beautiful green shimmer right here. And I do have a little bit of Mummy's Curse tapped on to my lid as well. Mummy's Curse is actually my least favorite shade in here, so I wanted it to kind of get done. I will say the Crypt Keeper shade, it's a little bit chunky, and it actually had some fallout, and once the fallout gets on your face and you go to sweep it away, it is so creamy and pigmented that you just get dark green streaks everywhere. So I actually had to take a Q-tip and some makeup remover and get the fallout off of my face. And that's why I do my eyes before I powder down my base, because I can go in there and wipe it away, put a little bit more concealer or foundation down there, and be good. But I've only used... was at 6, 7, 8. I've only used 8 shades in this palette, so I still have quite a bit to go. I thought about doing a fun like orange and green look, but I am totally okay with this rolling into October and doing some like spooky, doing some Halloween or more fall type of looks with this palette. So I'm totally cool with this one staying in and rolling over. The artwork on here is just stunning. It is gorgeous. So happy to have this, but I need to show it more love, but maybe this is the perfect time of year for me to do that. And then the last palette that we had rolled in is the Onsai Merry Christmas palette. Now, I've not touched this at all. And again, shame on me, even in my deck of panning, I had not touched the Inslee Rain Flower Moon. I still have a ton of shades to use in that one too. But this is what this color story looks like in the Merry Christmas palette. And it is stunning, it is gorgeous. I love this. And so I'm okay with this staying in for the fall time as well. Maybe subconsciously, I was waiting and holding off on these palettes just so I could use them in the fall. I will tell myself that. But I've used no shades on that one. So I think the only palettes that I've been able to complete between last update and this update is I finished Metropolis and the Wildflower palette in my deck of panning. So those got done, and then I think that's it. And which again makes me very, very sad. I will go ahead and we will draw in. I have the I Need a Warm, and I have Zendo, and I have Flower Moon back there that I'm working on in the background. And then let me just roll in one palette because I already have those bigger palettes and 15 shade palettes back there from Natasha Denona that I want to be able to work on those and not overflow myself. So let's see what I have the wheel pulled up. Let's just roll in one palette and see what it gives us. Let's see. Metropolis I've done, thank God. 28 pan palette. Warm Bronze. Let me scroll over to my spreadsheet. I think I've done all of the melted chromes. Yes, I have. So we'll roll again instead of Warm Bronze. Mini Retro. I've actually done all of my mini palettes. Those ones are all done. I Need a Nude. I Need a Nude has not been touched at all. So that one is a perfect one to roll in. Another beautiful neutral palette that I can wear to work whenever I go out. So let me grab that palette and show you what that one looks like on the inside. So here is I Need a Nude, which is the kind of sister palette to the I Need a Warm. And this is just this beautiful nude, kind of leaning a little bit warm, a little bit cool, but this is what this palette looks like. It is gorgeous. I have used every shade in this palette last year whenever I bought it, and so this one has been used. Everything in here has been touched, but this year I have not touched it at all. So very happy to have this in, and I love my Natasha Denona formulas. I love this palette. It is absolutely stunning. I think this is when she started to get those more like special shades, like this one in the middle, and just her new formulas. So like these three here are that new formula, and then that's her like really sparkly one, and then these just have this beautiful, just smooth formula to them, and they just look so wet and impactful. So happy to have this one. So while I am chatting, and maybe I will add up kind of where I'm at with my numbers, I will be showing my side-by-side of my looks that I have been able to do. And actually, while I'm talking and while this beautiful lighting is up, I'm going to take my picture with my palette for today. So that one is done, but let me look at my numbers. All right, so I have completed 44 palettes, and I have a total of, so I'm not going to include my singles in here just because I don't have my singles marked down. So 44 palettes, and I have 65 palettes total. So that would be 44 divided by 65. And so we're at 67.69, so 67.7%. That is, I would prefer to be at like the 75 point mark, but we are so close on glam. I also do have quite a bit of shades used on Yucca, and I just rolled in Zendo, and I have about half of Zendo used. But I still would like to maybe have a little bit better of some numbers. But hopefully by next update, I will have some more palettes used up and I will have some other numbers. Also, the Cosmic Brushes Gothic palette, that would be great to roll in October, and I might use that one in the background as well because it has those beautiful dark purples. But if I am looking at my camera roll, which there's a lot of doggy pictures on there. So yes, looking at my camera roll, I have those beautiful kind of cool toned looks with the Lethal Wildflower palette. And then I rolled into my purple looks with that purple single palette, which those purple looks just blow me away. They're so, so pretty. I ended up getting the I Need a Warm in, so I started doing some looks with that. I have my green look with the Child palette that is on there. And then I was doing my last push to get Metropolis used up for my deck of panning. So got some looks with Metropolis in there. And then another look with the Child palette. More looks with the I Need a Warm, which that one is just so, so beautiful. I have a look in there with the ColourPop single, which that one is, I used a little bit of bronzer in the crease and then I put Colors of the Wind all over the lid, and it was a simple look, but it was very beautiful. I actually was not used to seeing myself with such a simple look. I'm used to seeing with a little bit more definition on the outer corner and kind of V'ing out. So that one was very different for me. And then let's see here, I did a look with Zendo because that rolled into my deck of panning. I did another look with the Glam palette, but was not able to use those last two shades, which makes me very, very sad. And then of course I ended my month time frame with this beautiful green look from the Trick or Treat palette. So I hope to have a lot more looks with my update for next time. And like I said, I want to have some fun with the Trick or Treat palette. I want to do some more looks with the Ensley Rain Flower Moon palette and those special shades because that is why I bought it. I bought it for the special shades, so I want to do more looks with that. But we have we have 2 Odin's Eye, 2 Natasha Denona, and then some singles to go, and then my ColourPop, the Child palette. So we have some beautiful palettes rolling into fall that will give me some amazing looks. And I'm very excited to use my other polish from Holo Taco and get some purple, dark purple. I went a little bit dark on today's nail polish as well. This is the time and the season to have some dark manicures going. So I am in love with all the palettes that I have. I love the things that I rolled into my Project 10 uses, and I'm very happy to be getting some use on those. But I have to still do all of my weights and all of my graphics to get them up for you guys. I hope that you guys appreciate it. That is the part that I love doing the most. But it does take time. So I am doing this on a Sunday while my husband is away at a training, and so I have the house nice and quiet to myself with the pups. Malcolm is still doing relatively well considering. I posted a picture of him this morning on my Instagram, and he was sunning himself on the back patio, and that just warmed my heart so much because of course he's still going out and doing things that he loves and soaking up that sun. So thank you again for everybody for the wonderful words of prayers and thoughts towards Malcolm. I think that y'all's vibes out into the world has really helped him stick around with us for a little bit longer. But I'm going to encourage you guys to do all the things. I'm going to encourage you to hit a thumbs up on this video. Make sure to subscribe for more Project Panning, conscious consumerism, rambles, encouragement on how to use your collection and use the makeup that you have and maybe not buy all the new. If that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and subscribe and stick around. Of course, drop me that comment down below. Let me know how you guys are doing. I love our conversations. I said in my last video that I actually anticipate and sit here and I'm like, oh my God, a video is going up. I'm going to be able to chat with my friends. I'm going to be able to chat with my people. I get so excited to hear how you guys are doing. So please drop me that line down below and let me know how is your world right now. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and go. Actually, I'm starting to get hungry, so I'm looking forward to some lunch. So I'm going to wish you guys a beautiful day, and I'm going to catch you in my next one.